Welcome to Recently Logged, where we've officially run out of ideas.
VeggieTales, VeggieTales. Broccoli,
No,
celery, gotta be VeggieTales.
took a full-on, 30-second break between recordings.
There's never, ever been a show like VeggieTales.
You haven't even watched... Well, I guess you have seen VeggieTales, actually. We both have, Micah.
What do you mean, Robbie? That's all I watched growing up.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, I'm saying, this week, or rather this past 2 weeks.
Yeah, the reason I did it is because we're starting off on VeggieTales.
Yes, I realized it now, Micah. It's also clear to me now. I was a fool.
You were a fool.
So yeah, hello, I'm Robbie.
And I'm Micah.
And we're Recently Logged.
Yeah.
We talk about the movies.
We talk about the movies.
Old and new.
We mainly it's a Letterboxd podcast.
Is it Micah? We can't officially affiliate with them.
We're not officially affiliated with them, but our main use is Letterboxd. We use our Letterboxd.
We mainly talk about movies that we logged on our Letterboxd.
Our name came from Letterboxd.
That is true. But regardless, this week on the podcast, it's kind of a continuation, if you will, of the Thanksgiving special that we did last week with Yossi on The Princess Bride. We had Yossi on the podcast. It was lots of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
He got
before that.
I was about to say we've had a lot of guests on here lately. But he talked about what he watched last week, and for time's sake, it was the longest episode we've ever done. For time's sake, we didn't talk about what we watched that week. So this week we're going to cover what we watched that week and this week, if that makes sense. 2 weeks worth of movies. We're going to go over
everything from the 8th past till now.
Yeah, I was about to say the 8th to the 22nd is what we're covering. So strap in, I guess, because here we go.
Here we go. So, Robbie, what did you watch on the 9th?
On the 9th, the 9th of November, Micah?
The 9th of November, 2021.
I watched a lot of things, actually. First I watched Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home.
One of my friends
Alabama.
many years ago mentioned that it was her favorite movie, and
We've never recovered.
I now don't know how I feel about that, because I really don't understand how one could love Sweet Home Alabama that much. It's kind of cringe in a lot of ways. Not good. Not good movie. Bad movie. Moving on, I watched Bratz right after that.
Bratz,
the 2007 live-action Bratz movie.
This.
And, it was a lot of fun. I didn't know what to expect. The cinematographer was giving it their all. The director was giving it their all. The cast was giving it their all. The script, it was all right. It was pretty good.
Yeah, so what I'll say from what I saw of it is that the filmmaking was having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a fun movie.
I can't talk about the quality of the writing, but the filmmaking was having fun.
The credits, both in the opening and in the closing, are all in Comic Sans, and that really speaks to the quality of the movie. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10. By the way.
Then we watched VeggieTales, A Minnesota Cuke, and The Search for Samson's Hairbrush.
Whoa.
The screenshot, or not the screenshot, the picture at the top. If you go on Letterboxd, it goes hard. Feel free to screenshot.
Wow. Yeah, VeggieTales.
We grew up with this, man.
We grew up watching VeggieTales.
We did,
literally.
And I was like, well, "What can we watch? Something that's short." And somehow we ended up on this.
I don't even know how it happened, honestly.
But I always really liked this growing up.
Yeah,
Minnesota Cuke was where it was at. But not any of the sequels.
No. The first one, it's actually pretty fun. It really struggles a lot, like most VeggieTales stuff.
Up with the bullying one. Right?
It struggles a lot with its pacing, like every single piece of VeggieTales media, because for some reason kids media doesn't have good pacing, ever. But yeah, no, it's fine. It has the opening bully short at the beginning, and then the Pizza Angel song, and then the actual Minnesota.
Okay, but
Cuke.
Pizza Angel is amazing.
Pizza Angel outshines every single other scene in this entire
thing. A blessing from above.
It really is. I give Pizza Angel a 9 out of 10. I give Minnesota Cuke and The Search for Samson's Hairbrush a 6 out of 10.
But yeah, it's fun. I didn't rate it because I don't rate non-feature things.
I said it's pro-Canadian propaganda in my review.
It is pro-Canadian propaganda. Then on 10th, I watched Porco Rosso, which I ended up watching 3 times in the span.
Over the past 2 weeks.
So I'm not going to talk about it here. I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But I gave it 4.5 stars.
There you go.
Then we watched Knives Out, a November movie.
Knives That's the official title.
Yes. It came out like around Thanksgiving, which we watched it when we were with family during Thanksgiving. And... It's a November looking movie, and it's also my most viewed movie on Letterboxd.
I mean, we talked about it on the podcast back when it came out. It was good stuff.
It's one of my favorite movies. It's pretty goofy, but I love it. Rian Johnson's a great director.
It's like the perfect crowd pleaser movie, which also happens to have a great screenplay.
Right.
But yeah, it's insane. It's
I gave
good.
it 5 stars.
It is a very good movie. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Then we watched Watership Down for the first time.
Watership Down.
Which I didn't really know what to expect with Watership Down.
Neither did I.
I knew it was about fighting rabbits. And the only thing I had ever seen really from anything Watership Down related was from the Netflix Watership Down. Not that I've seen the Netflix Watership Down, but I saw a trailer for it.
That thing looks like garbage compared to this.
But this was crazy, man. This was so good.
Wild.
I didn't expect it to be as atmospheric and almost mythological as it is. I love it. I love that side of it.
It feels like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, or something like that.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Just kind of like I don't know how to describe
a grand tale.
Yeah, it has a grandness to it, a certain amount of grandeur. And the animation, delicious.
And we mentioned this while we were watching it, but it's so nice to watch a movie made before every animated movie ever was marketed for kids and needed to have stuffed animal-like characters. Because the characters in this are so creepy and cute in their own way.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
I said it was a lot more mystical than I expected.
Yeah,
to be.
exactly.
A lot of
mystical.
Fun.
The opening of this was so crazy. I didn't expect the opening to be it at all.
Imagine if Ghibli made this movie, Micah.
I don't think it would be that different.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But it's that good.
Also very creepy. A lot more blood than I expected.
There's so much blood. Why is there so much blood?
But very, very good.
I thought it was a kid's movie, Micah.
I think there was a little bit of pacing that didn't fully come together for me.
Yeah.
So I gave it 4.5, not 5.
Yeah, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
But otherwise, I really loved it.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I loved it a lot.
Then we watched Gattaca.
Yes, Gattaca, the 1997 sci-fi film.
Which was a rewatch for me and a first watch for Robbie, because we constantly do this where we're like, what's something Robbie hasn't seen that I've seen? And then 90% of them are trash, but this one wasn't. So I was like, oh, you gotta watch this one.
Well, it definitely isn't trash, but it's definitely not that good.
I can't believe you found it so boring.
It's got a cool thing going, Micah.
Look at my friend.
It's got a fun vibe. It's got a cool idea, but it's not for me. Not my movie.
Okay, but the cast I really like. And I don't really like any particular actor in the cast, but I really liked the cast use in this.
I mean, Jude Law's pretty good in it.
Yeah, I really liked Jude Law in it. I liked Ethan Hawke's performance.
Yo, Maya Rudolph is in this? How did I miss her?
Where is she?
She says she's a nurse.
Dang.
Whacked out, bro.
I bet she's there for 2 seconds.
This made you know what? This made me want to watch that Michael Bay movie that we watched.
No, not that Michael Bay. Robbie, that movie was trash.
Movie.
Robbie, no.
I liked that movie.
That movie was trash.
I put these on about the same level, the Michael Bay movie and
terrible.
Gattaca.
That's never speak to me. But
I like both of them.
I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's good. but not my cup of tea necessarily.
Then I finished Paranoia Agent.
Paranoia.
Satoshi Kon's show, but I'll talk about it a little bit later.
We'll talk about that a little later.
I gave it 5 stars.
Wow. When did I miss something? Am I missing something?
No, I just forgot to log this at first. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
put after the shorts.
Okay. Well, then we watched the Muppet movie.
Oh, wait, no, I take that back because
What?
me and Mom watched those without you.
Oh, well then talk about it, Micah. The Muppet movie is now on hold.
We watched
Ciao Alberto.
Ciao Alberto and Olaf Presents. One of these was good. One of them was the death of cinema. You can figure it out.
Wow. I don't know which one you're talking about, Micah.
I didn't rate either of them though. Then we watched the Muppets.
Then we watched the Muppet movie.
Which we had never seen the Muppet movie before.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I had seen some of it, but like
The 1979 one, obviously.
this was insane. I love 70s movies. I love 70s movies with like everything in me. And like this was like taking the Muppets, which I love, in their pure Jim Henson form, and combining them with 70s movies, which I love. So I really loved this movie.
I like the Gonzo puppet in this movie.
Right.
Looks different than the modern one. I think they made his eyes too big in the new one.
And I love what they did with this movie because they did that thing that I actually made a joke about on Twitter not that long ago, where things just kind of happen.
Yep.
And I love movies where things just happen.
No, it's a great little movie, a fun little flick. Great soundtrack too.
I gave it 5 stars.
Rainbow Connection is one of the best like written for a movie songs ever, I think.
Right.
Great stuff.
But there's so many good songs in this.
Yeah, no, moving right along. I've had stuck in my head all day. Actually,
Yeah, no, like fantastic.
we're probably gonna do an episode on it sometime. But yeah, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Good stuff.
Then we watched Jungle Cruise.
Jungle
2021 with
Woohoo.
Dwayne The Rock freaking Johnson.
It's the first time watching, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Emily smoking a blunt.
You get on to me for the drug references, Mike. But yes, Jungle Cruise, first time watch. Disney Plus movie, I think.
No, it wasn't a Disney Plus
Disney
original.
movie, I think.
It was a movie.
It's a movie. It's the movie.
So I'm particularly partial to action adventure movies. I have a certain
I'm
love for them.
particularly partial.
No, I really do have a certain love for their aesthetic and their feel, and like I love. That's why Uncharted is my favorite video game series. I love the Indiana Jones movie. I just love action adventure kind of settings in movies.
They can be fun.
But
for
a lot
sure.
of times I really don't like the movies themselves, like with stuff like The Missing Link.
Hey, The Missing Link's not that bad.
It's
Mike.
pretty bad.
No, it's not.
And this one I was kind of up in the air with because it had a lot of stuff in it that I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of good.
Kind of
But
good.
the filmmaking is really bad.
And then the filmmaking's like, what if we made it really bad?
Like they have like multiple fun set pieces that are filmed in the worst way possible.
Bro, and my biggest complaint, I think, is that the goal of the script like changes halfway through and it just completely disconnects from the first part of the movie.
No, yeah, it's not even that. Like every bit of this movie is disconnected.
Yeah.
Like as it weaves together, you have like the weird Spanish thing, and you got the Germans for some reason, and like you got all of these things going on, and yet
So
the
weird.
focus is never really on their big quest. And like the Dwayne Johnson reveal was so weird.
It's so weird.
Why was it there? Who decided that? So like it has a lot of fun stuff in it, in my opinion, but it's not very good. I gave it 2.5.
I also gave it a 5 out of 10. It's fine. It's a fine movie that is fine, and
Yeah,
people.
it's fine.
I'm glad people enjoy it, but it was not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's pretty fine.
It's a fine movie.
And I didn't log Ciao Alberto a second time just
Ciao,
because I
Alberto.
guess I forgot.
Yeah, I guess you just forgot, Micah.
The
Yeah.
animation is really good in Ciao Alberto, though.
Wow, who'd have thought that the models that they made for Luca would still look
no,
good?
I was mainly saying like the lighting and cinematography in it I particularly like. There's a shot where they're out, like where Alberto's out on the boat, and it looks like exactly like a shot from Midnight Mass.
Wow. But yeah, Alberto, it was fine. It's a fine short film.
I don't really like short films structured like this, but I don't like most short films.
It's fine. I don't really have anything to say about it. I think it comes off kind of stilted in a lot of ways, and I wish it was just kind of a slice of life more than like trying to shove a lesson in there.
Exactly, and that's the problem with a lot of shorts that are like this. But for a resident Luca lover opinion,
resident Luca enthusiast,
Haley, my girlfriend, when she watched this, because I was very excited to show it for her, because like her favorite movie like in a long time has been Luca.
There you go.
When she watched this, she was like really happy, and then really sad, and then really happy, and then it ended, and she was like, "What? That's it?" Like that was her reaction. Her reaction was like, "No, that can't be it," because it really does just do that short film thing of like, here's our tiny little emotional beat, and that's it.
And that's it. The end.
But then after that, we watched Wildlife with
the 14th, baby. How have we not done an episode on Wildlife yet?
I don't know, man.
That's honestly
I'd only seen it once, but I bought the Criterion for it, and Haley, who is also a big Jake Gyllenhaal fan, had not seen this movie.
Dang.
And she also really likes Paul Dano, too, so...
I mean, who doesn't, honestly?
But I really love Wildlife.
It's a great film.
Again, it's not the most sit down with your friends and family watch movie, but I really love Wildlife.
Bro, when you were like, we're going to turn on Wildlife, I'm like, this is not the movie I turn on to unwind.
I didn't expect like everybody to gather around the television set and turn on Wildlife. I was just going to show it to her since she hadn't seen it.
Good film, though. I wish Paul Dano would direct some more stuff, because this is quite good.
I love the writing in it. It's a really hard film to get through, but in like the best way possible. The cinematography and lighting is a big like the color use and cinematography and lighting I love in this movie. Like I don't know why, but like the visuals are a big thing for me in this.
Yeah, it's good. And Carey Mulligan, Micah.
Carey Mulligan.
Good in this.
All the actors. Also, we have Jake Gyllenhaal going like, boy, boy, boy. And you can't top that.
Jake Gyllenhaal, baby. He's giving it his all. As always, his Jake Gyllenhaal.
His Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes, he's giving it his Jake Gyllenhaal.
But yeah, I have no real problems with this movie. I gave it 5 stars.
I think I have some script-y kind of problems with it, but not that I'm going to get into right now. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, and for Haley's opinion while we were watching it, it was mainly like, oh my gosh, these people are terrible over and over and over again until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the vibe. Then we watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, November movie number 2.
Yeah, baby. 1993. Henry Selick. My boy. My man.
Henry Selick.
Henry Selick.
He directed what I called my favorite Halloween movie.
There you go.
On my YouTube channel.
Coraline, baby.
Coraline. And he comes out here with this Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. No, it's Henry Selick's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Just because you wrote a poem, Bertman, does not mean it's yours.
I love how overdramatic every single citizen of Halloween Town is.
Dude, I love how overdramatic everything in the movie is. It's not just the citizens, it's the animation and the music and the characters.
They're like, bro, it's not that deep. Calm down.
Where's Jack?
Where's Jack?
Jack goes missing for literally one day. Everybody's like, Halloween is over.
Bro, I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. I love this
movie a lot too. I think my biggest shout out to this movie, just 100%, is Danny Elfman. The music is literally the greatest thing about this. Like, I love the animation and I really like the cast and the story, but the music is just phenomenal.
I think I actually would consider this my favorite Halloween movie if I were to pick one.
See, I don't consider it fully.
This is like one of my all-time favorite movies just ever. And Danny Elfman's music is amazing. We did a whole episode
I consider it a November movie.
All the way back in season 1.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But no, Danny Elfman does the singing for Jack too, and I like that review that was like, why the heck did they cast somebody to do the lines when Danny Elfman could have just done it all?
I know, right?
But I give it 4 stars. I still have some screenplay issues with it.
I gave it a 9 out of 10. I think the vibes are strong enough, Micah, to lift it up.
So then I watched The Treasure of the Golden Suns, DuckTales.
DuckTales. Ooh.
Which is like the first 5 episodes of season 1 of DuckTales.
The OG DuckTales, baby.
But I logged 2 things because I can't tell which is which. There's 2 things called The Treasure of the Golden Suns, and they both appear to be it.
Well, there you go.
So I logged them both.
What'd you rate one? What'd you rate the other?
But I rated it 3.5. It was pretty fun. I think the actual energy of the the old DuckTales is really good. It did have a touch of the racism. Which is kind of
the racism,
which is kind of what I expected. But outside of
classic DuckTales, am I right?
Outside of that being early Disney, and that's just what they did. It was pretty fun, and like I didn't think I would like all of like the older versions of Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Scrooge and all that, but I like how much of a continuous thing it was versus like the new DuckTales, where it's kind of like each episode is its own little
very
adventure.
Episodic.
Yeah.
Yes. I caught the end of it. It seemed fun enough, I guess.
I enjoyed it. 3.5. Then I forced Robbie to watch one afternoon while we were doing stuff.
On the 15th,
Which I think this is the perfect movie to watch while you do stuff.
I almost fell asleep and I was doing other stuff.
You're ridiculous. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, which, granted, is significantly worse than anything of the absolute perfect trilogy known as the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy.
The Gore Verbinski trilogy, solid. Rock solid. This is the opposite of solid.
This is like the writers of the movie wrote a fan fiction about Jack Sparrow.
Exactly.
Because it's the same writers, but I have no idea how. But it's still so much fun, in my opinion. I love pirate movies. And like, I don't know, a lot of people I know have given this positive ratings, and like it's not good.
I'm not one of those people you know, Mike.
It's not good, but it's fun.
I think it's not good and it's boring.
But it's not boring.
There's some fun elements. I like some of the ideas they introduce.
The score is immaculate.
The score is phenomenal. And other than that, everything else is just as boring as it can be.
Wow. No, you're wrong, Robbie. You haven't seen the 5th movie.
They made Barbossa boring. They made Jack Sparrow boring.
Well, Jack Sparrow, no offense to the guy, could never carry a movie.
No, he couldn't. The moment they got rid of Will and Elizabeth,
that was their biggest problem.
I knew
Jack
it was
Sparrow
gone.
can't carry a movie. He's marketable, but he can't carry a movie. Barbossa could carry a movie, but he's like a weird side character in this. And heck, he should have carried the movies because he was the only one who cared about anything that was happening in this. Like, I forget the actor's name.
Who is that guy's name anyway?
Jeffrey Rush. But anyway, he was in love with these movies. He was the only reason this movie and the 5th one got made, and his character just kind of sucks in both of them.
Yeah,
because he just wasn't. I mean, he should have just been like an off adventure with him. No Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow can be dead for all I care.
Like a Star Wars story kind of thing.
Yeah. Or at least have Will and Elizabeth there in some way.
Yes.
But I still really enjoy it. It's really goofy, really stupid. I hate with all of my heart Blackbeard, but it's still fun. I gave it 3 stars.
I gave it a 3 out of 10.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Wow.
Then we watched Moana.
Like it's becoming French on the podcast.
Moana.
Yeah, we watched Moana.
Make way.
Which also has good music.
Yes.
One might say.
I'm not like in love with Moana as a movie.
Nah.
I like a lot of its like writing and music, but like in practice as a movie, I kind of get just bored with the whole idea.
Yeah,
I don't think it has like a whole lot of narrative tension for me. I don't really care if everybody on the island dies.
Dang.
And like the ocean kind of annoys me. But like I like the Moana Dwayne Johnson dynamic.
Well, there you go.
But and the music's really good. But yeah, I think that's been my biggest problem with
modern Disney.
Well, to a large extent modern Disney, but especially this movie, that whole no villain thing that they don't like that they like to do, which Shifrless Productions did a whole video on it, and I fully agree with that. Leads to a lot of it having to be carried by just kind of weird side stuff,
weird shenanigans,
and I just don't think it really works that well in this movie. Like, I really enjoy this movie, but I get bored with most everything in it.
I guess that makes sense.
I gave it 3.5.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. I think it's really solid. I don't know. I just think everything it attempts works. I think it could have been stronger if it had like an actual
Story,
antagonistic force kind of thing.
Like some sort of plot.
Like, it has a plot.
Instead of Moana just being like, yeah, I'm going to hop in a boat and sail around and see what happens.
Wow.
And that's the whole movie.
But Micah,
she gets Maui, and that's the whole... They're just like, yeah, sailing.
Micah, what if this had been like a 70s animated movie?
Then it probably would have had immaculate vibes.
Wow.
And beautiful imagery, like something akin to Porco Rosso.
Exactly. You can't just use that as your complaint, Micah. You can't be like, oh, there's no plot.
Oh no, that wasn't my... I said it has no narrative tension.
Wow.
Which movies in the 70s, even when they had no plot, usually had some form of narrative tension.
That is true.
But yeah, that's my biggest problem with it, but I still think it's pretty good. I gave it 3.5.
Well, there you go. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good.
Zen we watched. What did we watch? Oh, right. Then I caught the end of Porco Rosso when Robbie was watching it.
Yeah, baby.
I was probably like the entire second half of the movie. It's not a very long
No,
movie.
it's not a very long movie. But, I mean, it's... should I talk about it now, I guess? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Porco Rosso. It's my second time watching it. I liked it a lot more on a second go-around. It's a lot of fun. It's one of Ghibli's funniest movies. It's one of Miyazaki's funniest movies, besides, like, Lupin, I guess.
Yeah, Porco Rosso for me is one of my favorite Ghibli movies, and I really just love the vibe the movie has going, and like the visuals I think are some of, in my opinion, not inherently Ghibli's best, but some of my favorites. Like, I just think this movie is beautiful.
Mikey, you can't look at Spirited Away and be like, "This Porco Rosso is one of Ghibli's best looking movies."
I love it. It's kind of like, I was trying to describe this to Haley because I just watched it with her yesterday, but it's kind of like Miyazaki's love letter, not just to planes and anti-war. That's every movie,
every single movie he's ever made.
But like that kind of like old movie kind of feel of like that summer togetherness with all of like the antagonists and characters kind of not liking each other but having respect, like that kind of vibe. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's that thing that this movie does so well, and I love when movies do that.
No, the screenplay feels like it was written in like the 50s or something like that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like everybody's having such a good time, and like when they come back later and everybody's old at the end and everybody's reminiscing on how good of a time that was when they were all trying, like, I love that.
It's a great movie.
And I think this is honestly one of the movies that like gives me chills the most times.
Wow, really?
Like, and one of my favorite scenes in all of Ghibli is the whole Porco Rosso like telling his story of the plane stuff.
That is a fantastic scene.
Like when I was watching it with you right then, like I got chills throughout the entire scene, just like literally through the whole scene. I was like, cinema.
Cinema.
But yeah, I gave Porco Rosso 4.5.
Yeah, I also gave it a 4.5 or a 9 out of 10, if that's what you like to rate your movies at.
Fio is an all-timer for Ghibli.
That's true. But yeah, after that, we went on a little road trip.
Little
trip around the road.
Vroom.
Little vroom. And we watched Paranoia Agent, me for the first time.
Satoshi Kon.
I was a big fan of Millennium Actress, and I wanted to check out more of his work, and we had 6 hours to kill. So we turned on Paranoia Agent.
Which, again, I will say, for Robbie's sake, that is probably one of the worst ways to experience
this. It really is. Now that I've seen it, I think that's the worst way to watch it.
Because not only do you have all the car noise and stuff, and you're watching it on a smaller screen, but this is a very good episodic use. Like, the way it uses episode structure to keep you invested in each episode and the way it breaks it down, I really think you should be watching it like, here's an episode, take a break. Here's an episode, take a break. Like, it's a weird show to watch back to back because it isn't fully like narrative in the same way a lot of mini-series, quote unquote, are.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be a lot more continuous than it was. It's very episodic. I think it really would have benefited. Like, I have a feeling I missed a lot of stuff because I was like, by the time my brain caught up to the episode, like finished processing the episode I just watched, it was like, here, we're already on the next one. I'm like, oh no.
But I will say I'm kind of in love with this show.
It's really great.
And what it accomplishes.
It is fantastic.
Satoshi Kon's always been like a master of getting into your head, and like whether that's a good or bad thing. Like in Millennium Actress, he does a great job of getting into your head and being like, getting you super invested in this like multi-year rom-com thing that's going on. It's great.
The plot of Millennium Actress is so funny.
And this does such a great job of getting you into the mindset of essentially paranoia, which is what it's all about.
Whoa, Paranoia Agent is about paranoia? That's crazy.
And it's so creepy, but not and scary, but like in an existential way.
Yeah.
And I love just the question, like on a base level, I love the message of the show.
Oh no, yeah,
what
it's
trying
great
to communicate and everything.
By all accounts, Micah, this should be like one of my favorite shows of all time, and it is one of my favorite shows of all time.
And like Little Slugger is just such a fun, like, antagonist, like, and it's such a cool way that it weaves its plot around him.
I want a Moromi plush now, Mike.
I bought a Moromi plush.
Oh yeah, when is your Moromi plush
going to be in the mail soon? I bought a 20. It's the only. Okay, so Funimation sells one of these, and I'm really sad because Moromi in the show is like a Beanie Baby kind of thing, and it's got a massive little bean head.
That's true.
And like a tiny little body, and it's adorable. But Funimation, the only person who's like the only company that sells a like official version. Yeah, she voices Pikachu and some stuff.
Oh, interesting.
The only version that is an official version that's sold, they sell like a Pello version, and like it doesn't even have any arms detached. Like it's the Moromi image slapped on like this 20 inch thing.
It's kind of lame,
but it is still.
But it's still Moromi, so it's cute.
But yeah, no, I one of my favorite pieces of media from 2004.
What to say about Paranoia Agent? I really, really enjoyed it. It, like Micah said, it has a really good message.
Too highbrow for Robbie.
Some really like amazing animation. Some
the
really
animation.
Amazing like
visuals,
atmosphere. Man. Some really amazing script ideas and execution. It's just an amazing show. I don't know how they did it.
Right, and this was Satoshi Kon's like, if I'm not mistaken, one of his like earliest things that he did.
Here, let me see. Can I sort it by?
And you can kind of
release date.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He did Perfect Blue, and then he did Tokyo Godfather. I guess he did. I guess this was all before Paprika, but like,
yeah.
What I was trying to think of, what I was trying to say anyway.
What are you trying to say, Mike?
Is that it's kind of a lot of his work distilled into one thing, like a lot of aspects of his work.
It makes sense that Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress came before this, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Do you have a favorite episode from Paranoia Agent, Micah?
That's really rough because there's so many good episodes. I'd have to say like episode 3 is an all-time for this show. It's probably it going its hardest in filmmaking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I also really love, I don't remember, it's like episode like 10 or something like that. And it's the episode with the animation studio where they're making the Moromi anime.
Yeah, I don't know if that's 10. I thought that was 9. But yeah, either way, the animation one. Very, very good.
But I mean, I love almost every episode of this show. I think 1 almost like honestly is one of the most boring, but it's still really good.
I really enjoyed episode 3.
Oh, wait, that's what it was. 7 is kind of like filler feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 3 might be my favorite, and It'd be so.
And, yeah, 10 is.
Yeah,
10
I
is the
think
one was
I think
thinking
maybe
of.
10 might be my second choice. There's a lot of really good ones though.
Yeah. 8 is so whack.
8 is whacked out, bro. I honestly skip 7 and 8. You'll be fine.
No, don't. Don't listen to
No,
him.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, I think 5 and 7 were the weirdest episodes.
That's fair. But yeah, no, Paranoia Agent, I think it's fantastic. Again, this is a like TV mature show. Please,
I watched the TV-14 cut.
please make sure you are old enough to watch Paranoia Agent before you just flip it on.
Yeah, it's very.
Not to mention, it could be very triggering.
Yeah,
to anyone with paranoia or anything like that.
It goes over a lot of really dark topics, and even
Yes.
if you're watching the TV-14 cut, which cuts out anything "quote unquote" explicit, it is still very dark and
Yes.
disturbing.
Yes, viewer discretion advised, but Paranoia Agent is very good. Yeah, and then we were still on vacation. We watched,
Lupin the Third.
yeah, Lupin the Third on the Airbnb on the iPad, baby.
The Castle of Cagliostro, I think.
Wait, hold on. Cagliostro.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that is, yeah.
yeah, like Stromboli.
Struggle pronouncing this, man.
Wow, Lupin the Third. Yes, the one Hayao Miyazaki directed.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I've been meaning to watch it or rewatch it for a while.
I still, it makes me really want to see other Lupin things to
Yeah.
see if they're any good. Because this is like for the American audiences who don't know. I feel like most people
I feel like a lot of people would.
into anime would know about
I was about to
this.
say anyone familiar with Japanese
but this
culture probably knows about Lupin.
But yeah, this is like a Scooby-Doo 10-10 kind of level
Exactly.
thing, like a very spanning, cultural, influential series with an ensemble cast that is done by different people over and over again.
Yeah, no, it's really it's so good and it's so funny and so much fun and so pulpy.
I think this is definitely Hayao Miyazaki's most pulpy work
Yeah.
ever, which makes sense because like it wasn't an original story from him.
Yeah,
I mean, it was, but not like an original base
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, this movie's just fun.
The female characters in this movie are so funny. Why?
Right? Like,
Why did they write them like that?
I actually saw a thing like criticizing this movie, saying like it was really weird coming from Miyazaki to have like a female character, like female characters who feel so weird
Exactly.
like this.
They feel paper thin, bro.
I mean, almost all the characters but Lupin feel
It's
paper
true,
thin.
that's true.
So, but no, I mean, it's so funny. The one
Oh
girl,
my
the
gosh.
military spy girl, is amazing. She's perfect. She's just like they'll never suspect I'm wearing a camo jumpsuit and like 30 grenades under this dress.
I love, yeah, she's like always wearing a dress and then she like rips it off and there's like, she has like 2 guns and like 50 grenades strapped to her with the camo jumpsuit, just all camo.
It's beautiful.
I'm like, what is happening
It's
right now?
cinema.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's good. There's a lot of really good gags in this too, like all the castle shenanigans.
Yeah,
like
I think somebody in Letterboxd reviews described it as like Japanese James Bond Scooby-Doo.
essentially, yes.
And that's kind of how it is.
I
And
agree.
it's a lot of fun. I give
Yeah.
it 4.5 stars.
I give it a 9 out of 10. Very good.
the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's the same rating. I'm agreeing with you, Mike.
Then over a couple days because I forgot how long this
it was
movie
like
was.
you watched this over the course of 4 days.
Because we were on vacation and my time to watch it was limited.
I wouldn't call it a vacation.
Oh well, yeah, not a vacation. I didn't.
We were out of town though.
Because you said trip.
Yeah.
We were on a trip. It was definitely not a vacation. We did a lot of like cleaning houses and stuff. But
Manual labor, Micah.
I watched Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, baby.
I started this on our trip, but then Robbie was like, "I'm going to watch Paranoia Agent."
The Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
So I stopped it.
Yes.
Like 20 minutes in. But man, I really like this movie. It's weird. It's got some problems.
Some problem.
But I love the music in it, and I love I love it as an adaptation of the original stage musical too. And I think it's just really fun.
No, it's a fun
and
movie.
Gross in a good way, and like as much as none of the cast can sing, I kind of like that about it. Like I like hearing them like poorly sing all of these songs, and like Johnny Depp being like Benjamin Barker and then stabbing somebody is really fun.
It is fun.
Like and Alan Rickman's in this.
Oh yeah.
Alan
He's quite good.
Rickman is amazing, and during one of the
Everyone
songs,
loves Alan
he goes
Rickman.
bum, 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 and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's cinema.
Sweeney Todd it's fine. It's a fun movie.
It's fun. Like it's way too long.
It's way too long.
Way
It
too
should not
long.
be that long.
And it's goofy as heck, especially being that it's Tim Burton and he's trying to be all dark with it. But 4 stars.
Wow, there you go. And then after that, we sat down and rewatched E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
For the first time since I watched it, who knows how
I was
many
about to
years
say the
ago.
first time. Like, this was my second time watching it. But yes. What to say about
I wanted
E.T.?
to give it another watch because I remembered really not liking it when I first watched it growing up. And I still didn't really like it.
Aw, Micah.
Spielberg, he's a good director. He's a good director. But this movie just is boring to me and annoys me, and I don't like E.T. Like, I just don't like him. I don't like the plot of this either. Like, I just couldn't care. I don't care. And all the kids are annoying. And, like, it connects to me 0%.
The ET fans are screaming at their phones right now.
Yossi is threatening my life.
Yossi is holding a gun to Micah's head, and he is now going to change his rating to 5 out of 5.
But no, like this movie doesn't connect with me at all. It's got some good visuals, but like
It has some fantastic visuals.
But even then, I feel like its visuals are like weirdly bad. Like they do like these weird like sunset shots, like occasionally mixed in with shots that aren't during sunset, and I think it's a really weird, like a weird choice. And like, I just don't like it. Like I gave it 3 stars because it's okay, but I just don't like it.
Wow.
I'm with Karsten on this one.
I mean, I don't think it's anywhere near Spielberg's best movie, nowhere near, like, anywhere close, but I love the animatronic work in this. I love the production design. I really like the cast.
So yeah, I'll say this.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. I'll say this. Everything about it that I like can be distilled down into the ride at Universal, which is much better than this movie.
I was going to bring that up actually afterwards. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I do like about it. It's really well directed. The child actors are surprisingly good. Not
Good
great.
at
Not
whining.
great. Wow. Good at whining. But yeah, I think the main reason I like E.T. is just because the Spielberg is directing it. It's so well directed, and the production design is immaculate. I love it. But yeah, the ride.
Like I said, everything that I like
ride at
about
Universal
it can be broken down into the ride.
The ride at Universal I enjoy more than this movie. So,
Same.
So I think that speaks a little to how I feel about it.
Would you rate it?
I give it a 7 out of 10. Good film. Solid film.
What is that? What is 7 out of 10?
3.5.
3.5. Okay. Then we watched Midnight in Paris.
Actually, it's Midnight in Paris, Micah. Because it's Owen Wilson and he's American.
He's American.
He's an American.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Weird guy. Don't really like the guy.
Stop projecting yourself onto your characters, Woody Allen.
Yeah, tell that to Spielberg, Robbie.
Oh no. Well, I mean, you should make personal art, but this is a little
No,
weird.
Robbie, tell that to Spielberg. Go watch Hook. I really like Midnight in Paris. It's goofy. It's stupid. But I love its vibe that it has going, and I love Owen Wilson in it, and I like its message at the end of the day.
Wow, I think it's honestly just a weird, like, I just the first word that comes to mind when I think Midnight in Paris is whack. Because it's like some weird historical fan fiction that Woody Allen wrote.
It's hilarious.
And he just won't stop gushing about Paris for like 3 seconds.
No, that's what like. It's literally just Woody Allen gushing about Paris for 2 hours.
And I'm like, oh my god.
Oh wait, this is only an hour and a half.
It's only an hour and a half. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I'm not crazy about this one. It's fun enough. It's good.
But it's got good music and good visuals, and I like historical fan fiction.
I said I'll go to Miami with you, Rachel McAdams. That's all she wants through this entire movie.
She cheated on him, Robbie.
Or Malibu, not Miami.
Yeah, Malibu.
Whoa.
But
hey, Malibu's pretty good.
But no, I just really like this movie, and I kind of I kind of am obsessed with like nostalgia-based media because I really like it as an interesting
He works
topic.
in a nostalgia shop, Mike.
And like no, I think it's a genuinely really interesting topic to explore, especially in movies. And I really like the whole going back in time with all of the like and the cast of the people who are playing all of the like the famous people in Paris is immaculate.
I don't think I'm ever going to watch this movie again, Mike.
That's a shame.
I wanted to give it a second try. I tried it again. I didn't like it.
I gave it 4.5.
I mean, like, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I'm not going to revisit it at any point. There was nothing to bring me back to it. I gave it a 3.5 also, or a 7 out of 10.
I said I gave it a 4.5.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, what the heck is this?
Yesterday.
What the heck is this?
Yesterday, I watched a 2021 film, Let Us In.
2021?
It's a horror movie, I guess.
What the heck is this poster, Robbie?
It's really bad. And I don't really feel as though I have to elaborate too much on it, Micah. So it opens up with this, like, title card of, like, their legends of pale, black-eyed creatures that lure people to places or whatever.
What?
And it's like there's been no real evidence, but all the people who have said that they came into contact with one of these creatures was never seen again.
Wait, then how did they say they came in contact with one of them?
That's what I was wondering. Like 5 seconds into the movie, I'm like, what? And then the movie starts, and the villains of the movie are aliens that have black eyes.
Audiences.
And they all wear black hoodies.
Aliens.
And they're super duper pale. And they're just like, will you let us in? And if you say that you'll let them in, they abduct you and take you to their planet to work as slaves.
What?
So
they have to ask permission to take you and work you as a slave.
But Micah, before you say yes, they can like assault you and like almost kill you.
And then they're like, let us in.
Exactly. Micah, the most said line in this movie is, will you let us in? And it's like all like 5 of these pale people like saying, will you let us in? Like over and over again.
That's awful.
And it's really bad. It tries to say something about trauma and it fails so royally. And for some reason it's an alien movie. It should have just been a horror movie. I don't get it. It's bad. It's a bad movie, guys. Don't watch it.
Then yesterday...
I gave it a 3 out of 10.
No. Then yesterday, though, I watched Porco Rosso again with Haley. She had never seen it before. And she didn't like it as much as I wanted. She still liked it, but like it just wasn't one of her favorites because I guess it's more mature feeling than a lot of her because she really likes like the Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service.
She likes
and, like,
the Totoro
and like the very childlike feeling movies of Ghibli, which I can understand.
Well, there you go.
But I will say, since we've already talked about it, the one thing we're watching the movie and you know the big final fight with Curtis and Porco. Mm-hmm. When Porco throws the switch thing at her, like at the lever at him, and it hits him right in the face, she went like, ooh!
That moment is so perfect. I love it.
Like, it was so funny because I don't think she was very invested in the final fight, but like, then she was like, oh, look, they're shooting at each other, and then like, just bam! And it caught her by surprise, and I thought it was funny.
That is funny.
Then last night, mere hours ago, we watched Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, baby. This was my 8th viewing, I believe.
This was my 10th logged viewing.
Oh, well, this was my 6th or 7th logged viewing. I don't remember. But yeah.
But I've seen it more times than that.
Yeah, yes.
A lot more times than that. It's probably one of my most watched movies ever. I kind of love Jurassic Park. The reason we turned this on is because I started it when we were driving somewhere real quick, super late at night, and I like watching this movie late at night. I got like halfway through, and then we had to stop. And then I was like, oh, I want to finish it. And then Robbie was like, oh, I want to watch it. And Dad was like, oh, I want to watch it. So we started the whole thing over.
Wow. How generous of you, Mike.
And it's perfect.
Is it?
The screenplay is perfect. The cast is perfect. The visuals somehow still look, for the most part, very good.
Yeah.
one of the most brilliant uses of CG technology for its time.
Yeah. No, it's a good movie.
Nothing but love for Jurassic
Hot
Park.
take: Jurassic Park is a good movie. Yeah, I think I have some problems with Jurassic Park. I'm not sure what they are, but I don't know. It just doesn't fully come together like I think it should. Like every time I think through the screenplay, it's like, yeah, this is like a perfectly structured screenplay, and all the character work is great. The direction's great. The score is phenomenal. The way it uses horror influence is amazing.
I think it's the only Spielberg movie I can think that uses camera shots that like what Jurassic Park uses sometimes.
War of the Worlds does something kind of similar to this in a lot of ways.
Like they do a very like harsh camera movements in War of the Worlds, but like there's something very like shaky and personal about some of the horror shot uses in this movie that I really like. I can't really think of another use of them in a Spielberg project.
I'm a sucker for how many push-in shots they have. Like literally every time they can do a push-in shot, they're like, "We're gonna push closer to the face, baby."
But yeah, like I was talking about earlier on Twitter, I think it made me think though how much Hammond is so important to making this movie work, and how the Jurassic World movies don't work really because they don't have Hammond. Essentially, not like just they don't have Hammond, but like a character like him.
I was about to say the Jurassic World movies have no good like foil for their themes. Exactly. They just kind of like say it really sloppily, and they're like, "Yeah, that's what the movie's about.
Yeah,
deal with it, suckers."
But this movie does such a brilliant job of crafting its characters and its message, and like weaving it all. It's problems with this
it's
movie,
good.
Robbie.
Like
it's so good.
It's a lot of my favorite filmmakers at like the height of their power, and for that reason, I will always love Jurassic.
And for that reason, I'm out.
For that reason, I'm out. Micah, that shot with the raptor and it has all the code projected on it, one of the best shots in any movie. Just
I'm telling
ever.
you, Robbie, this movie is one of the best movies ever. And you don't believe me.
I need more horror in my action blockbusters, please.
It's true.
Thank you.
And yeah, that's what we watched over time, over the years, the decades, the millennia.
There you go. The biggest highlight for me was Paranoia Agent, but I think that was just because it was so dang long.
Yeah, and I would probably tend to agree just because like I watched it almost twice over that time period, like in November.
Watership Down might be my second one though.
Paranoia Agent,
I love
fantastic. Watership Down, fantastic. Gotta go by the Criterion now.
Yeah.
The Muppets movie or the Muppet movie.
The Muppet movie.
So freaking good.
Great stuff.
Yeah, those were probably my top for like quote new-ish watches.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
Very, very good. Go watch Watership Down if you're old enough.
Have a good Thanksgiving, too.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Go listen to the Princess Bride episode if you haven't caught it yet. That's our, quote, Thanksgiving special, but we put it out.
Go watch the Muppet movie.
Pretty early in the month. Yeah, go watch the Muppet movie.
Go watch Lupin the Third.
Yeah.
If you have your parents' permission or are an adult, go watch Paranoia Agent.
Yeah, you might want to look up the content on that one first.
Yeah.
But yes, go do all that, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.